And they do say that they're kidding, by the way. This cheeky person, whoever it is. How do you explain the, quote, science behind the technology?
How much time do we have?
Well, how do you explain quantum physics in the next 30 seconds?
Okay, so the science behind the scanner is really simple, but boy, we could spend a lot of time discussing it. We are energy beings, and everything in this planet is energy. The rock, the asphalt, it all has a vibration.
This couch,
everything.
Everything is.
So all we're doing is measuring the frequency of, in this case, our bodies, or something specific in our body, or a food that we're going to put into our body, and comparing that as with those frequencies come together. Is it beneficial? Is it not beneficial? The science to this goes all the way back in modern days to Tesla and Einstein, and they worked with these things. In fact, I can't remember which one it was, said that the future of medicine is frequency. Unfortunately, the pharmaceutical industry never got the memo, so we went the other direction. But everything is frequency. The Russians were the first ones that I'm aware of to actually put it in and implement it into something that could be quantified, and that was with their space station, their International Space Station in the late 80s, early 90s, where they were able to kind of monitor the health condition of their cosmonauts up at the space station. Okay, that's the first time I ever saw this type of thing being put into something that was quantifiable. Now, we've heard of muscle testing, and we've heard of pendulums, and we've heard of all sorts of different energy types of therapies. This one here takes all the bias out. It takes out all that influence, and it's just this frequency and this frequency. If I put them together, what happens? That's all it is. And that may not be the answer that you're looking for, but that's the best way we can explain it in a real simple.
Speaking of science, I remember I was at probably 6th, 7th, 8th grade, something like that. I remember being in a science class where the teacher was patting the table and was trying to teach how this is moving. This is not a table in and of itself. We call it a table, but it's made up of molecules attached together that are moving at such a rate that they create this sort of stability. I could not grasp what he was talking about. I'm like, no, that's a table and it's hard and it's just a table. It's all it is. It's not moving. I see it. It's sitting still. But the reality is when you could take a super high powerful microscope, put it on that table, and you'd be able to see the movement.
That's right.
And that in and of itself becomes the essence of everything is energy. Everything is moving all the time.
Always.
Constant. In and out of form. In and out of its current form. That's right. No, I love that. Well, I'm with you.
Good.
Yeah.
So two of us are.
We got two. No, it's fascinating science, but those of us that don't live in the realm of the quantum physics, we go through our own experiences to validate that everything is energy.
Well,
everything is energy.
Let's try and tie it back to the pharmaceutical. We'll take a pill.
Yeah.
We'll take a synthetic pill. We'll put it in, and our headache will go away, or our indigestion will settle down, or our blood pressure will settle. Right? Can you explain how that's happened? I can, because it's a chemistry.
Yes.
And chemistry goes in and hits the liver, the pancreas.
It does.
And it creates a frequency that helps soothe the frequency that's out of range.
Yes.
Okay, so we're bypassing the chemistry by doing this. Now, that doesn't mean you throw away your medicine just to frequencies. And there are times when those medicines are absolutely critical to our well-being.
Yeah.
But that's all we're doing without the chemistry is measuring frequencies and putting the right frequencies in.
And it's fascinating because, like, as I've done my own research, as we come up with Think and Pro and Prime and things like that have influence on the different systems, like for the brain, for example. Yes, it is a supplement that has ingredients that can pass the blood-brain barrier and then have influence upon the brain's chemistry. But what is the chemistry that's actually taking place between the cells in the brain? It is a synaptic change. The synaptic change actually is carried by what? Energy. Energy is what is the connection, the signaling. When we talk about signaling through the body, ultimately, in the very end, is passed by way of energy from one cell to another.
That's right. And when there's a blockage there, it doesn't go.
Yeah.
So, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Great question, though.
Yeah, great question.